This is Sense Nation. Sense Nation.
The Sense Nation.
Sense Nation. Where we make sense of life and reality. I think food is one of the biggest things in life. I'm just like, you watched Ready Player One?
Yeah.
The movie.
Yeah.
Remember at the end where he says, this reality is still where you can have a decent meal. As much as this is the game and you can do all that acquisition. You know, this is the one place you can have a decent meal. Any out of everything you wanted to do, you could have chosen just a decent meal. Food is something.
I remember even in Seoul.
Oh,
Remember when number 22 ate pizza? That's one of the things that started having her change her mind to come to Earth. When she started tasting food.
Yep.
Yeah, man. There's a feeling about food, I don't know.
I have to watch Soul again.
Yeah, Soul is
Nafaa kuichambua tena.
It has levels of understanding.
But there's one interview I told somebody to watch Soul.
Yeah, Soul has a level of
Soul and Tenet. Those aren't movies you can watch once. You have to come back to watch it because it's
And then you only understand as per where you've unlocked your mind. When you're hujafika, mtu mwingine atatoka kwa Roma na understand vingine.
What? Yeah. My life is such a trip right now. I'm like, Lord.
Let me tell you something, because even I remember I saw it yesterday on a movie. Even just that thing of somebody walking kwa desert or something on a cliff, and then there's just that sunlight with the silhouette. They had to come there. Somebody had to notice that place. So it was at several days. And then now when they were ready, the day before, 2 days before, they came now with the camera.
Before they have to set a camera.
Yeah, exactly.
Actually, wait.
So plan first of all. Plan. Those are different days because you're planning to check in. Ninaweza. Until the day now you come with the camera, and then now you block. Now you have somebody walk there, and then you're like, "Apana, I do wait 10 minutes." You see, because the ray has to be right, man.
Let me hit you with something. Do you know how fast sun moves?
It must have when you're shooting.
Because you have, not even shooting, like by the time you're enjoying a sunrise or a sunset, or even just a view. I'm telling you that thing you can look like this, and you come like this, cloud. I don't know what. You're like, whoa. Sunrise, you cannot enjoy it for more than 5 minutes.
It's like a vibe to it. You know how many times I've gone to Costa and I've missed the sunrise?
It was too hard to wake up, you're like up on it.
First of all, there's the many times I haven't woken up.
Oh, wow.
And then those are different trips. And then the few trips that I've managed, nilichelewa, nilifika kulikuwa na cloud cover. Most of them are cloud cover, by the way.
Yeah.
And it's so disappointing because the years you've slept and then now you've woken up this once, you managed, then there's clouds.
What? Yeah. No, what you just showing me right now is life is such a chance that even catching that sunrise, because you see now how you say, even for the day that you go, and then it's not there. Because it's cloudy, because you cannot do anything about that.
Yeah, you can't do it.
It's such a chance thing, you're just like, yo.
This chick, first of all, hasn't come to Mombasa like that. Now me, I'm a Mombasa boy. It's like when a Mzungu comes to Kenya and they're like, oh, I've been coming to Kenya. And they're like, no. The next time you come to Kenya, come see me, fuck that hotel life. So that's the experience I'm giving her. So now that's the time she shot her podcast. We started shooting her podcast. You remember that time we shared? Perfect sunrise, like I have it on camera. I can play it back whenever I want it. And she's sitting there. Talking. So first of all, we were trying to mulika with lights for the car. DIY, just like this.
Yes.
So come back a battery leisure. It's a story of its own. But anyway, but that is all lights as poeta. Because of course the sun, man. The sun. I mean, what can you, unless you're bringing Hollywood lights. But then now, as she's speaking, so she starts as a silhouette.
Ooh,
right?
Yeah.
And then now I carried my lapel. So this is because the waves are crashing. You can't hear her.
Yeah.
But then now when you come to listen to the production, you can hear her. Because you see now the mic is... the lapel is here, but then now the voice is louder than the sound, than the crash. But then now you see I can't do anything to the sound because it's perfect. Her voice is in the crashing ocean with the sunrise rising as she's getting lit. as you listen through the podcast, I'm like, this chick, man.
What's the name of the podcast?
Yeah, it's still in the hard drives. It's still in the
It's in a hard drive.
It's still in the hard drives.
No, but bless it. No, it's a process. Like
Which you can imagine now. Maybe
I'll tell you what it's called.
Yeah.
Text me.
Again, but look, life is a process. Put it this way.
Life is a
Life is a process.
Yeah, but this has been. I feel maybe I'm very let me look for something that's relatable. Like you know the way we see new moms, they don't want to post their kids for like a while because they are just feeling, let me protect this energy. I don't want the world to corrupt. Can I please just put in my pocket?
That's heavy.
Yeah, so I feel like I'm in that kind of a space with this project, and I have been in this space for a while. But like, I want to dare and see what happens. I want to post that first picture and hear my heart beating as a motherfucker, and I'm just like, am I even ready for what I was paying for?
Yeah, man, she's never posted. Like, she posted 3 times.
Yeah, but let me tell you,
for
what I'm asking for.
Are you ready?
Am I even ready for what I'm asking for?
Ready.
Yeah, because capacity ni muhimu. Capacity ni muhimu. So, and then now I don't want to say the worst part, but ile part yenye ndio tricks, mama tricks. Ni the only way unaweza draw your capacity ni kudive.
Jana nilikuwa na watch a movie usiku. Nilikuwa actually na watch Exodus. So it's based on a Bible story and stuff like that. I like it because it's that the guy for Dark Knight Rises is the one who's acting like a biblical story. It's really messing up with me. Dark Knight Rises is just, it's more ungodly, it's like DC kind of. Yeah. It has a story of its own, and then now so. But then when there's a line, the Pharaoh then before he died, it was like, isn't it the paradox of life is that the guys who could be leaders are best fit for it. Like anyone has a chief, but then now once wakashafika kwa hiyo nini, hawana capacity ya kuideliver. People who can be leaders are really on the path that they can be, but then now the moment they get there, they really don't know how to be leaders.
Yeah. Please do continue.
Let me get my love.
Yeah, and that was just like, it doesn't not even explain even our rich kids here. The dad will have a company, put you there, but then you're not a leader. You're just a leader because your dad was a leader. And then now even when you go back, maybe even him, he wasn't. That's why you're not a good leader, because even him, he didn't know how to raise a leader. So him is not a leader, he's not in the capacity to know how to raise a leader, so it's just a chain. And then now the rest of us Semi-Kenyans are being led by that one. Oi.
Whoa.
Yeah, so you can imagine.
And there's nothing you can do, because in another conversation, I was made to understand of gravity problems. Hiyo kitu umesema, jua, cloud cover. That's a gravity problem. You really want to go to a mental hospital because it's going easy. You don't want to do that to yourself.
Live life.
Yeah, and then that's the line. Why would somebody be okay with that? Go to a cloudy and say it's okay with himself, but then when it's traffic and somebody is cutting him off, he's like, so it's just we decide, I guess.
Yeah, it's definitely about choices.
It's like it's possible. So what my take home is that it's possible for you to do something. So we usually tell them about compartmentalization.
Yeah, compartmentalization is crazy, because now the way it is going, you've gone to the ocean, you've missed the sunrise, and you've gone to what's that place called? Masai Mara.
You've not seen the lion.
And you've not seen all those, like you've
seen only gazelles. You've seen only gazelles and zebras.
That's a long trip to see a lion.
But it's nature.
But to be natural for it not to happen.
Yeah, and you'll not cause trouble. You'll not have the 5 members of the team be like,
rage about it.
You won't be like, oh sorry, Michael, I didn't see the lion. You'll not have us do that to you.
Yeah, you won't rage about it, but you're gonna be in your car,
or in
traffic, urging to be ahead of traffic, like there is something you can do about the traffic.
Yeah, because there's somebody to blame.
Sure.
There's somebody to blame. It's
Yeah.
like nature gets away with it.
That's just one example of compartmentalization. Like now, for example, with my projects, the way I'm telling you, I'm like holding on to it, and then I don't flinch to come here and do a podcast with you.
Yeah.
And
That's usually
even when you ask me, I'm going to tell you should just post it even sick. But when you tell me to post my own, I'm just like, bro.
You're telling me about something we shot
Hold up.
the other Christmas, still in our hard drives.
Yeah.
You
so,
get.
Compartmentalization.
And
is
we are aware of
crazy.
it. We are aware of it right now. We are so aware with it in our life. We're just like, we know even us, we are compartmentalized. You know, nowadays I'm doing a studio album. I'm doing an album. I hooked up with an old friend from Coast. So, I mean, barely moving, it's another story. But finally, our journeys, we did an album like 12 years ago. And then now we're doing an album again. Yeah. You remember the Hamnioni video that time I released? And then even higher, the other guy I seen it.
Yeah.
So now we're usually having Wednesday sessions. That's our studio time. Because you see now he's a dad. I can't just have him. You know, it's not that big and number. I could just studio every day, so we have to plan around things. Because it's a sleepover as well. Because you know, creatives, I don't want you to come to 9 to 5.
Yeah.
So he's found a way where he can, you know, and that's also another bit of a story on its side. Because look at that, he's a dad. Like, think about it. When I'm saying this story, imagine he's a teenager. Okay, think about it. Like as I'm saying it, imagine he's a teenager because he's a dad, and then he leaves his house with the blessings of the wife.
This is life.
Yeah, you know, he's gotten there. Like even just the odds of getting a woman who would support a venture, and you know now he's coming to our studio where Harudi home nado. It's not a job of I'm going like this, hunting and gathering where we are from.
As in Duru, ndele pesa taniani.
Yeah.
As in
Ni hivyo.
like evidence of
Exactly.
coming.
But ni hivyo ni vile tu ni ile pesa ya kesho.
Ndio si ya kesho ni ya huko like.
Ni huko exactly.
Lakini kuna mtu
it's that
visionary.
guy. Yeah.
Visionary.
Exactly. So imagine even the woman has to be
that side.
even the woman has to be that visionary to be just like okay. So my husband is going to nini na sitauliza hii ndio itakuja lini but please every day you go and the kids good night, see you then is going to work. Anyway, that's a side story. That was just a side story.
Thank you. No, it's side story, main story, still story.
Yeah, man. So now we were in the studio and we're like that whole thing of because better talk about compartmentalization. But like so we're usually saying we are free and liberal, okay? But then now there's also that thing about everybody's okay with it in the room. You know, like you walk in a situation and everybody's okay with it.
Let me give you an example.
Give them an example. Perspective
Like,
at least.
You've gone to a Christian space. A Christian space. And you're hearing, you've maliza maybe tuseme 6 months to a year and a half in that Christian space and you started to hear rumors about how worship leaders, they are out clubbing and whatnot. But nobody is going to address that story and then you see one day the worship leader is not there. So that means everybody's okay with it. So you one day you're over there, you're trying, you can sing, you will hear the worship team and the worship leader in the club. Nini na kustop when look at club because everybody's okay with it. Unaweza ukarudi kesho, no one is going to address it. No one is going to do anything and you'll still be there a year after that.
Yeah. The worst part is actually the congregation which comes to see that person who they know is clubbing.
That's not even the worst part. They will make you a leader of a youth group that is growing in that church. My friend.
So you're getting the perspective of everybody's okay with it. That's just for perspective sake.
That's what it means.
So now when we're with this boy having a session, we're just like, but then look at us. Because Ababu, last weekend actually it was her wife's birthday. So I'll come to invite for sleepover and stuff like that. So now we were talking the other session, the previous one, like in 2 days we're going to meet. And then we're just talking about these guys are going to hang out for the first time. Like, because she does never hang out with her, like they just know each other. So it's just like, you know, these girls, you know, could be just holding their hands as they go to kukata mboga or something, they're in the kitchen handling, and then we're just like, wow, there's another space where we're okay with it. Because I'm just asking, why is it that they can hold hands and go to the kitchen and see them do that? We can imagine, we can see them doing that. It's a possibility if they click. But you and I, we've known each other for how long? We're talking about people who are about to meet each other and be in the same space, but we can see them hugging and doing that. Me na wewe tumekuwa maboys for how long? And then paka anasema, imagine paka kuna hug ya maboy na kuna hug ya madem. Who taught you hug ya maboy, Michael? But you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, maze. So even us who are free and liberal are okay with it. Because above me, peka sasa hivyo ndio inakwanga joke na uji. I'm like, I can hug you and stuff like that, but we're free and liberal, I will not do it. Because my mind, I can't see myself hugging.
Toxicity is just like
front acting like this because that now I'm free, women can do it, also I can do it. I know I can do it, but
it's usually different energy and different. I shouldn't say life is so vast, so wide that because I know the people who you can hug like I can hug my boy. Not the rugby one, and that usually like that's front, but again it's not all that.
But you see, even though you've called it,
it's a rugby.
It's a rugby one. You've called it like that.
It's like
it has to
have
have
a big bro. It's like a bro hug. It's not a weird hug.
But what is a weird
But
hug?
I'd like to ask you guys something.
What is a weird hug?
Because right now what I'm trying to do is just bring all these different perspectives of like, yo, who's the policeman of all
A
this?
weird hug is like you two guys giving the hug you would give me. Then he would feel,
That's a weird hug.
nigga, what is you trying?
They're different things. No, because people, I know those who hug for, just not, when you say hug nice, I'm like, oh, you hug? I'm like, shit. But again,
It's happening.
but again
Yeah,
in your
it's
head,
mad.
but again in your
It's
head,
mad.
but again, there are those people who you're like, yo, what's up, man? Many days, I'm even this around like the dude hug with this one of this one. That's a good hug.
Nani
Really
alikufunza?
comfortable.
No, please, this one. Alikufunza.
Ulijulia wapi ati unaweza
Society,
hug watu
it's
wengine?
like-
Yeah, and then now here's the funny part. The first time you saw me and you tried it on me, I gave you back. Nani alikufunza, and why are we doing it? So
Na mko okay with
we're okay
it.
with it.
So let me
That's
ask you
the point.
something. What would you do if you met a father-in-law who kisses you on the lips because he loves you?
Let me tell you a true story.
Yeah.
What? Let me tell you a true story. Michael, this is
Nice.
tricky.
Nice.
I've never, you're usually looking at yourself and that thing I'm telling you, you're free and liberal. Senor, would you say you're homophobic?
Yeah.
I like that.
You cannot just come and do. Yeah, there's a dude who can try to say, you're just it's uncomfortable. Like, it's
Like your entire reflexes are just like, nigga, not like that.
Yes.
Not like
So
that.
that's
But
where
let me
I
tell you something. If we were to grow up, okay, what's an history if we were to grow up? Let me tell you now a true story. Back then, in like 2010, I that story for me going to Denmark, okay? And then now, it pieces that the last week, there's a guy who's willing to do a video because I don't just to do music, audio. Then there was a friend who could do it, like in the best mwenye anasema, mkikuja hivi Naivasha, naweza organize team yangu because hamna budget alafu tutashoot kwa sababu tunapenda hii vibe. So that's what happened. But then now it happens that it's wrong. So because the visa is the same, flights there are cheap, we're just like, okay, because we're going to do a free music video off for a single of this album, let's go.
Yeah.
So tunafika huko. First thing, now we're in the land of Italy. Yeah? This is true story now. We're in the land of Italy because we're in Rome.
Just because a bit. Today morning I was seeing a photo of Italy and somebody it was just written just morning in Italy and something this is when I'm like, fuck. So that was just posed just to remind just to be like
Side stories are just happening. There's so many side stories.
That's how
But you know what I like about you, Michael, and I think that's why we vibe with it. You fungua files. You never just see.
And he can come back
Yeah.
when you come
But
back.
that's the thing about funguaing files. Oh shit,
Well,
that's
you can
another
get there.
conversation. Yeah, you can always
I'm like,
always
yeah.
come back, yeah.
Sure.
So now we land like this. So now the friend, you see now the friend who's hooked us up is a Danish guy. So you know the vibe is the same. You know, it's that toxic masculinity kind of thing. But you know now Italia, Rome, Rome. You know Rome is where Vatican is. Yeah. So now tunalala nini because ile masalamu. So now this nigga who's been the nigga all this time is hugging like that. So this guy is like, first of all, they shake you over here, back of the neck. You know that's already a sensitive thing even when you're kissing the woman.
Yeah, it's mixed.
Yeah. So a fellow man is shaking back of the neck, and then as they are saying hi, so it's like that, and then mwah, mwah. Okay.
You're in shock.
So first of all.
Somebody just like,
Me, I'm a Kenyan boy. I'm seeing. So you see, it has to follow hierarchy. Kwa sababu mwenye yenda tasalimiana alafu aseme ndo hao boys.
Yeah, true.
So I'm just like, nika mwalimu ametoa kiboko, I'm like, I'm next. I'm next. You're negative.
I can see your eyes just do this like, whoa.
yeah, but then he's just like,
And I go now because I see the next guy, and then you know because they are Mzungus pia now, they're just like, it's easy for them to switch. You know, it's like they're in touch more than this African vibe.
You're
so then they vibe, and I'm like, fuck. The moment the second person does it, everybody has to do it now. I'm like, my voice are too much in bus, man.
Yeah, Chinese the most craziest thing is how short the time that you had. Your brains are just like, oh shit,
your body
oh
is
shit,
not ready.
oh shit. Number one, and then you see number one, number two. Your brain is like, okay.
Suddenly, I want to piss.
Your brain knows how to calculate. Like it's already seen the trajectory of how this is going, and then your brain is like, oh.
Let me give you the projection that I'm like. You're right about my brain. So my brain is just thinking, okay, first of all, Kenya is far, right? So there's nobody here who knows you. No, there's nothing you can do. I'm past that now. Now I'm telling my mind, it's okay. I'm in the process of telling my mind, it's okay.
There's nobody who can relate.
Yeah, so first of all, I'm like, well, I'm in Kenya, and I hear, you see, now this is a classic. When you get to the romance,
do what the Romans do.
Oh,
I'm like, well, that line finally.
Classic.
There you go, you got to that point now.
Yeah, and then I swear to God, I'm next. And this guy just goes for my neck, boom, and then bam, bam. I'm like, so you see now immediately. It's like a ritual, man. It's like a ritual. He doesn't miss. I know it's neck, it's hand, neck, kuja hapa, left, right. It's the same mutaratara. It's like so these guys, this is their way of
saying hi. Oh, don't die, please.
And you see, quick, I don't think you will not miss. Sometimes when you're thinking,
you'll be like, oh shit.
That's a good one.
Sometimes when you're about to hug with a nigga, and then you do this miss thing. He had me. Like nothing is miss. Whichever side I would pick, you pick the opposite. Like I'm just like, you're going to left. He knows. Wamezoea. Damn. So now I go through that moment. Now immediately there's another thing because you see now we are liberal and we're free.
We're free.
Yeah. We're liberal and free.
Alishashika shingo.
Before you know what
Before you know it,
you see now that's the thing. When you look straight at this person's eyes, and then you see that's also the thing. I'm telling you. Now that experience, sometimes ilipita. Ni kama tu ile mse alipanga kipara kwa gari alafu kaona tu kimsugua hingo tu vizuri. It's a moment, it passed. Unajua? And when you look in that person's eyes, they're not even in the car. They're not even. You see, timing of work kusema, sisi Kenyans do this. Timing is everything. This person is not even there. They're excited to see you. There's so much going on in the room. You just have to put yourself last in this. Your issue of non-hugging is you just landed in wrong.
Are you sure?
But check this out. Sometimes they usually say, "What did you have Did you have an opinion about hugging?"
No. Moving on forward for that 1 week. That was it.
No problem. No. Before this happened. Before this thing happened.
Because you see also another thing. Okay, sorry. Let me just sit down.
No problem.
I know that thing about people respecting like you asked a question, so I just wanted to respond. I hope utasahau.
I do it.
So ile ukisema mbona watu wakienda kwa wageni wana feeling oh you know I have hizo sindo, but then you see now everything has perspectives. You see, kwa sababu what about the perspective of losing out? You know, go to the Romans and do what the Romans do. There's also that, because it is also equally important in your life. That ukikuja kwangu, you just observe, enjoy it. If you don't like it,
like matching up levels and frequency.
Yeah, even just for yourself, it's like exactly.
That's exactly where I was
people
going.
do something and then you just like just not to start diverting the frequency.
Exactly, because especially if it's not toxic, it works with them. And you are the visitor. Remember also, again in the capacity of the visitor. So then I'll also come back to si basi unge visit. Unajua? Basi unge visit. Kwa sababu mbona ndio kwa issue. Yeah, mbona ndio kwa issue.
That's exactly where I was going, because now it's like you need to be able to design the room. You can't show up with your energy and affect the room negatively. So you have to be very aware.
Yeah.
You have to be very aware of yourself.
Timing sasa hapo.
Kwa sababu sometimes it's not that bad to allow the room to influence you. Kwa sababu at the end of the day, it's just about positivity.
It's life. You're experiencing it.
Yeah,
I'm telling you this
so
story because it happened.
Kama
If I would have swear this, I wouldn't have a story like
exactly. This. Kama unaona ni kitu unaweza use kwa life yako, si mbaya kuacha nijaribu. But kama unaona ni kitu toxic lakini ina work for how I say, si ati sasa uacha nijaribu na wewe unajua mali umetoka, you feel a die, bro.
Check this, you're not being truthful. Let's go back to my visual life. You know it's not useful to you as a person. I don't know, sometimes I usually say it's nice how like accountants, you know, when you're like being an entrepreneur, how you have to be like, where's this shit going, where's this shit going? Imagine going like that and being like that to yourself, that you don't even have the bad energy to spend outside. You're always like on the outside, and yet I'm like, you know what, every minute you spend outside is a minute spent away from inside. So you're just like, oh my god, you're not a person's business so badly that you're just like, you know what, you can be just you and being comfortable being you, and you know, understanding now the environment around you even, and knowing how to I don't know.
I think for me I'll bring.
Bring it back. Bring it back again.
I think now that's where now the whole thing called life. Okay? Because there are those people who are just going to die down there, never aware. They just lived a full life, and probably it was even fun than yours. But they just and died. Kama tule in a version story of the person who was raised in a village, schooled in that village, went to college in that village, and then came work in that village, gave birth, and then he was married there. Vacation. But then now, I guess now with life is about, and then now kuna wale wenye walikuwa aware of what is happening around life. You know, that even if they are in that village growing, they are aware that there's a US going on. They are aware that it's like there's many places in the world you've not been, but you're aware they're existing, and you know there's intimate spaces like this where you can't just go in somebody's house and just because where I'm from Kenya, nifungulieni niingie. But then the reality is going to hit you.
First of all, you're black. Hey, can you come down?
You see, and then now that's the worst part. The people who are aware, and then it works against them.
Yeah,
because they're just as bad as if you didn't know. So now I'm using that example of any minute you're spending outside is spending from away from inside. You're right. Now you are aware. Okay? But then now, I guess for me now, for the life is balance. When mention of balance. So this is a life near balance. You need to be, that's a struggle everywhere. Because about any success, even you right now, anything that you can say you've succeeded, you have found a balance. You've had to see the how not to, and the how to, and then now you're like, okay, now, and then mini Michael, you're like, how can I not two and two?
Make it through.
Yes. Hey, when I can make it through. I like that. So I think you're your life. So you're right, but then also sunajua too much of something. You can't just be also too inside, and you can't be also too outside.
Can I hit you with one of the best that I usually like that one for? Is I really do appreciate time alone, time to my thoughts, time to myself, time to no noise even. You know the times where you're like, hey, this is making noise.
Yeah.
And then just get to your world and get to chew and go through a lot in your own head.
Watch yourself, Mazel, like a movie.
And you see so much, but still go outside, meet. After that, go outside and meet other people and taste the outside world, taste it, enjoy other people's stories and experiences and the like.
Realities.
That's the thing about our energy.
Of the best things is if you come from that place of being solo, come out here. Or the things that you know, like that for Italy, that was alone, just enjoying some other thing, and then you come out here, you're like, I had a story about Italy.
Mazel.
And then now I get like links to what I was thinking of, what has come across my own path, and then you hear of other stories, you're like, we are connected out here, and you give me piece of information.
That animation, Luca, is about this thing you're saying right now. If you've watched it, you need to watch it. Yeah, it's called Luca. This thing that he's saying, like, we grow up na specific type of information, alafu una meet now say when you wanna demystify information, ukienanga ukilearn, hivyo.
There's a whole lot, but that thing of learning. That thing is a reality.
Because you see also,
still
we need to go back and remember when you are learning even your upbringing, because that's I think that's what a lot of people in this generation are
just growing up. I usually like putting in just growing up. You have to grow up from somewhere.
Exactly.
So from wherever you grow up from, if
so
the
now,
system is this way, this other way, you still have to grow up with that system.
And then now, so from that system, when you go back, so that's what you are unlearning. I am willing to bet that everybody keeps something in that whatever toxic environment that was. There's something that an experience. It could even be as bad as a rape experience, but people always have to keep that. The people who wanasema wali overcome, unajua hao wenye walifanya hiyo equilibrium, lazima waliweza kuface into that maybe rape case. Let me continue that example. Now waangalie in the face na waichukulie from a point of power. Unajua maybe in the siku moja they can actually be that woman who stands there in the future and gives speeches to other rape girls. You know, so it's either always delete everything, even when you're unlearning. So that's all I just wanted to bring back. You know, even the unlearning doesn't mean you delete. You can't delete, because the moment you delete also, and then also another example I wanted to give is with the balance of being kwa self na nje, kwa sababu pia ukiangalia kwa dunia, thank God to 7 billion people.
Oh, I never had that.
Yeah, thank God for 7 billion people, because those are 6,999 examples of you in another realm.
Whoa!
Right?
Amazing.
Yeah, if you're born a Chinese, that would have been you. If you're born an Indian,
that would have been you.
Yeah, exactly.
I was actually reading a meme.
So now,
It wasn't a meme. Those facts things, I was reading one of them in the morning, and it was saying, when you're faced with two decisions in a situation, and then you choose one of them, there's an alternate world that immediately splits where you've chosen the other one. Man, they talk cheap.
Yeah.
Hey!
So now, just to summarize this part, because of these examples, then we already know. We've seen people who have spent more time on the inside, and then they were broken on their own way.
Yeah.
We've seen people who have spent
time
outside, and they didn't spend time inside, and then they were broken. So because the 7 billion people have already given you, Michael, an example, you already know what not to do. You can't be too outside, you can't be too inside. And you can't be also none of the above. Then where are you?
Allah.
So somebody stood in a bus and asked if the crowd is one or two, and then like few people one, few people two, and then obviously the ones who didn't answer, they're like, yo, there's no number 3, it's 1 or 2. It's 1 or 2.
Yeah.
It's end of options.
Yeah.
Choose one.
Yeah.
You have to fall within one or the 2.
You could tell him about that story you told me in the morning about the kid.
So, okay, he's prompting me to give a story I was telling him in the morning for a dad who, like, they're rich, they're wealthy. So he took the kid to the rural areas to go see how poor people live. So see, they've gone.
No, for me is like one of the. I don't know where to put it, but pause first of all.
Okay.
Like, just
No, just
Just
go on,
go, I
go on.
won't forget.
no, but the thing is, where we put our priorities about life based on ourselves. Like you see now, to that person is, I'm rich. Let me go and show you poor. Let me go and show you how poor people look like. You're like, no. I know that used to work. So, it sounds sensible to try and teach a kid that such kind of a lesson. But again, you're like, yo, man, as in like it's the wrong way of placing this whole thing, because at the heart, for me, it's just I'm just feeling the heart just being in the wrong place. I'm like, say you want to show what of lacking opportunity brings about, or you can still mention the same people, the same situation, but you can put it in a way.
Yeah.
Even your kid will be okay. Not all kids, because they're also mean kids, but this story can be told years later to a person in a different location and be like, oh, Shee.
Yeah, now
But now listen.
But
the
again,
pureness of that
Yeah.
kid
Now listen to how the story
It's
is so crazy, because now they've tempered whatnot. Now they're walking back now in the evening. So that the dad is just like, how have you enjoyed the day? The kid's like, it's cool. It's been it's like it's been okay. So then he's like, what did you learn from your experience today? So the kid goes like, so us guys have 1 dog, then they have 4 dogs. Us guys have boreholes and big walls and all that, then they have trees and rivers. Us we have TV, then they have friends and family. And the dad is just, like it humbles you. It humbles you.
Yeah. And then it's like, thanks for showing us.
And then now the kid concludes, he's like, thanks for showing us how poor we are.
See the twist.
It's
The dad must have been just like, whoa.
yeah.
Those things you can't anticipate in life.
yeah,
I was telling him the way money has been glamorized for nothing. I say,
Yeah.
really, it's been glamorized for nothing. And then now to express further how it influences our kids the way we choose to live as adults. Like I feel like it's important if it's okay to be well fortunate and all that and wealthy and unajiweza,
Financial freedom.
but I feel like it's very important to mention to your kids every so often that people around us aren't like us, so you can't go flashing our things in their faces. You can't go making them feel like they need to have what we have, because everyone is just on their own journey, and I have figured a place in my life where I decided to create generational wealth for us, and there were people who weren't as fortunate as I was. You get? Yeah, because now the other thing is now just behavior wise. There's a story I was hearing on Instagram last night. It's a teacher from elementary school, and then she's saying how it's Parents' Day, or like just the days where kids are come from by their parents, right? And this one kid finds out through those visits that he has a sibling in the same class, because he knows that his mom is that sibling's dad's side chick, but the dad has prioritized that other child. So he'll talk to the parents he'll talk to the teachers of the student he recognizes, and as if the teachers don't teach the same other students, he won't talk to the teachers about that other kid. And then now when he's done, aende akawagote aishi.
the kids are just like him.
Sasa see now the baby mama sasa wamesalimiwa ile heshima. Alafu wakaachwa hapo na watoto wao. So the teacher is just like, it's very difficult to expect that kid to come back and perform well, because now it's kind of like being publicized in the school that your dad doesn't prioritize you. Your dad doesn't come talk to teachers about you. So
where's all this? Where's all the your dad will not come? Who will say it?
See, it was
The-
one of
First,
fellow
the other
students. You know,
The
kids
other
are mean.
students.
You know, kids are mean.
si wanaona
True.
si wanaona.
Kids
So
are
it's
mean,
just
man.
yo. So now the teacher is saying, si amejaribu kuongea na huo student like one on one ndio at least two. Atry aone ataka anaweza come bring back
Man.
the student. Like I'm telling you, that dad is just toxic. I tell you, toxic. He tells the child to go and find out. This is why now she's being the IG. He goes and tells the son to go and find out how old the teacher is. Like this nigga had I don't even know what to
I
tell you.
usually say.
So now the teacher is just like alienda kwa seniors akasema yes, we have conversation na huo mtoi or the dad wakiwa peke yao. Lazima mse mwingine akwe present. Kama itakuwa another teacher, kama itakuwa another male figure, whatever itakuwa.
Ndio ya
But ati wao tu wawili kwa sababu sasa unaona mzaya anatumia mtoi kwanza kukatia umodi. Na umodi anatry kuaddress mtoi kwa sababu anataka awache watu wengine waache kumfanya feel like the special kid of the siblings. Like una get? Ni such a fucked up situation. It was so fucked up. It was so very fucked up, Mazi.
That has issues.
Very much so.
And it's just one of the weirdest things is with life is you can follow just back to what's up with that guy. I bet you just get to a place like
This is where it's from.
makes sense.
Yeah.
This is why you have
Definitely.
sensation.
Yeah.
This is why
Yeah,
my thing about life is at the end of it all, you just come and something like makes sense. You hear the story of a gangster, you hear the story of a rapist.
Anybody has it.
As in, you've watched some on YouTube of a chick who's cutting herself and and then you hear the story, you're like,
Yeah.
this.
And that's why the saying of there's nothing new under the sun. It's the same. Watu mwenyewe ndio umekuwa ukisema vile tumekuwa tukisema story ya kuset up hapa. Sometimes you're just in a
Nothing
room.
new.
You're just in a room and you see somebody do something and you're like, saying ngome imemhit the same way you hit. So no, there's nothing new under the sun, man. I'm imagining maybe like even now Abukas are just tripping because even with technology, they are seeing patterns in this country. They're just like, but see, we pattern before Apollo
Hakuna
come.
kitu imechange.
I'm sure mazee kumabuka wako tu hivyo. Tunafanya kitu kwa internet. It's just that they
That's
can't
why
talk to us.
That dabana hiyo mhahe kama sisi.
Hata hawezi tuongelesha kwa sababu
Yeah.
get hatuwezi hatuko.
But you see, now that's the, I feel on a personal level, I feel life is live life to show another life, to protect, to provide another life, to nurture.
Live and let
life.
live.
You know, as in life, what is right is usually right, but as you said, the man is just, kids can be mean, and just how man is one of them. That thing I shouldn't do because it.
You better believe
We
it, my
are
friend.
just like we
Dark.
hear stories
Yeah,
out
dark.
here, and we are without the light. I love light. Because have you ever entered into a room and you're looking for something, and then you hit things and you do things,
What are
and then you put on a light.
You unaona kila kitu unashinda. Yaani ndio
Yeah,
nakwambia.
have you seen that room
Yeah.
that
Why?
has been
Yeah.
painted
Why
with
Why am I
pitch
blocked
black
like this?
that there is? Have you seen that room? There's a room they've painted complete black, like pitch black, like the darkest black you can find. Hiyo room ukiingia, unakaa nikaa una minimize. Inaitwa nini? Unaka yeah,
Una
maze,
shrink.
like unajua
Una
darkness ina fuck up na perspective yako. Like for real, like physically.
Wallahi.
Hey,
You can't.
ina
I shouldn't
fuck
say
up
you cannot fuck with
perspective
darkness.
yako.
As in like
Yeah, darkness is
with
crazy.
Manze,
being dark
sasa
makes
hii room
you do
ilikuwa
stupid
dark.
things.
Alafu nisimame pale nikuone ukiwa umekaa hapa, unakuwa smaller, una shrink.
Wallahi.
That's the word I was looking for, shrink. Yeah, it's so crazy, you know.
No, imagine entering a room that is dark. Even your own house that you know how it's usually like. You
With lots of
feel,
things,
you know, you don't have perspective of the
How the room
surroundings.
is,
It's all dark. So
Yeah.
usually, I think you feel like
Even movement.
you feel
you
like
don't just
you-
walk.
You know, you're
move like
usually
this.
like this tall, but now as you enter the room, you feel like you're this tall because
Yeah.
it is nothingness. It's just dark.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
like,
and it's so frustrating, Maze.
It
And
is.
you-
When you're in a dark place, it's so frustrating because you're just like,
Can
why
I find
can't
something? Can
Yeah,
I
why can't I see? even can I just touch something? That's why you're usually walking, just trying to, okay, Sarah, that's it. You know, but you are struggling to usually touch something just to get bearing. Even if it's a new room, okay, in meza, you'll have to find a way of getting bearing of the room.
Sure.
You can't just stay there.
No, but still, if you want to do that, because can you imagine being hit by something? You hit this desk here, and then you go and hold your leg, and then you fall on this chair here.
Oh.
Trust me, I don't think your ass is going to get to that level.
Yeah, bet.
Yeah, you'll stop.
But again,
Immediately you just stop.
you have to do that unless you're like, no, I really have to be here. I need to make sure I make whatever I needed to. Whatever brought me here, I need to get it done.
Yeah.
And by the time I'm leaving, I have it. Unless you have that kind of mentality, that's what you're gonna get out.
Yeah.
But without that, I bet you'll be like,
right?
I'll just get lost, even just get tired, and especially you like go to this room and like this is like your safe spot. Like this is where I'm like you cannot entertain too much darkness or being comfortable even in darkness, because even if you decide, even if you come here to be like the last place and then you just get into darkness, you be like, let me lie down for a bit. But again now you wake up. And then you're like, where am I? You know, nothing more than in darkness, even it's your safe spot, you come here and you're like, yo, let me relax for a bit. Sleep, wake up, you're like, you can't even see where you are. And then maybe you remember memory wise. Then you try to make your way out here. Most likely you use the same door that you came in. But again, you can get lost in the darkness. As an individual, putting it back in life basis, putting it back in depression and giving up.
Yeah.
You know, that dark place is not a good place. It's not a place that you need to get comfortable.
Yeah. But then now you need it because of that's
But you
need to be at the dusk or the dawn, almost constantly. Of course, there are days you'll be in the dark. There are days because if you're in the edge, then clearly kuna zile siku utakanyaga vibaya, si ndio? Of course, and that's now that part of where people just are like, hey, Michael, don't take it too hard. We're all humans, you know. Yeah.
It's so crazy how you're talking about self-harm and depression and all that, because I really need to understand this mental thing. Is it like you feel a place in your life you lack purpose? You feel like, let me just be depressed?
Yeah,
is it a place? Is it usually feel like you've already tried everything and nothing is working?
Like I've always wondered.
You know, because about like self-harm really gets crazy because it's like you enjoy to see yourself bleeding, you enjoy to feel the steam in the shower. You know, it's what is that? Like your mind has just
decided.
Yeah, like have you
can even say
to
that?
Be grateful for, you know, but it's a decision because of new choices. And I know people will fight me about it being a decision and all that, but when you utamua, vile utachukua catastrophe.
But hata huyo msemo mwenye anakuanga amerecover from mental, si anakujanga na anasema ali choose. Like kuna kitu ilikuwa U-turn, right? Hakunanga kitu mtu anasemanga alidungwa sindano, poof, come back.
Exactly.
So if somebody can admit that they chose to come back, but nobody usually admits that it's a choice
to go down.
Nobody, there's never a conversation going that way. So meaning there's already watu wajue kitu.
Now when I think about it,
I think there's a part where why I really want to make sense of life and reality and how people do that is because life is rough. I think we need just put that there up there, and then now after having that is at least now knowing what I'd love to teach my kids is how to fight this world smart and make it through the other side good, like because it won't be like we just flow.
But again now for my kids
will be that they can fight this fight well. Utafika shule, utahudumiwa, utafika place kunaweza kosa fees, unaweza kosa.
But let me ask you. I have a question. Sorry, I hope it alleviate kitu. But then when you talk about life, even when I talk about life, just until you said it like this, I'm wondering. But then what is life really? Because at these experiences, what is unaleta? Because is life nature or the human experience? Because the combination of that is what now you call life. Kwa sababu umesema hata tu penye nimekustop umesema school fees, umesema kubuliwa, and I'm just like, but that's human experience. So life is experience.
Yeah, how
Is
can
it-
you, how can you experience without
It's
life?
What is that?
It's
How-
the,
how can you
it's
experience
the
that
both.
life?
Umesikia? It's the
You
both.
cannot experience without life.
Yeah,
But what
it's,
is
it's, the
life?
it's both in nature and the human experience.
Being alive.
Kwa sababu now you're coming back to the question for are you a spirit having a human experience, or are you a human having a spiritual experience?
So that's life. Because then now
Body
I beg to
is a
differ.
human. Uh-huh.
Because then I beg to differ on the. Then you can't really say life is rough, right?
No, it
Life
is
is just life. No. Because that's perspective.
No, okay. One of the biggest things is mental.
Mindfuck.
No. It's like mental health. Any person who can say that they don't, it usually sounds, we put it now in struggle, mental health, all this, mental wellness. What is all this? Because really is just setting your mind to face life in the right perspective
Positivity.
with whatever you have. This is Sense Nation. Sense Nation.
The Sense Nation.
Sense Nation. Where we make sense of life and reality.